Hey, it's Shayna, and I am getting ready to do a budget recap with you. Earlier this month, I shared what my expected budget was for January 2019, and now I have lived throughout January 2019, and now it's time to see how I actually did with sticking with the budget that I proposed for the month. And so far, I can tell you that I've had a few little mishaps, but I don't think that they were egregious. But you can tell me in the comment section down below if you disagree with me or not. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let's start with the income that I expected to bring in. And so I did get my fellowship of $5,358. And then I expected to get $750 from teaching. And so actually, I did not get paid from teaching this month because I realized that the semester started like January, I believe, 17th. And so my first paycheck actually won't be until the first week of February for teaching. And so that was a big misstep that I had with my budget. And so I'm going to change that value here to 0. Then in terms of additional income, I expected to bring in anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 in additional income. And my plan was originally to bring in that income primarily through Grubhub. However, I had some really interesting things happen with my income for this month for the additional income category. So with Grubhub, so far I have earned $1,031.38. And if I record this video early enough, I will probably go ahead and work tonight as well. And so that might come up a little bit, but not too much. I also got paid through Upwork, and I got a payment of $225. And then the really surprising thing is that someone actually used one of the referral codes that I had in the description box in one of the videos, and they signed up for Instacart, and they actually worked a few shifts with Instacart, and I actually got a payout of $500 because that person signed up using my referral link. And I was like super excited when I saw that. And actually I realized that a few other people use the referral link as well. And so I'm expecting probably between February and March to bring in about $2,000 just from referrals. And so I really appreciate you all for using the links that I provided in the description box, because it helped me out a lot. It helped me out a lot, especially since I thought I was gonna get money from teaching and I got $0. So I really appreciate you guys for supporting me by using my referral link so that I can earn a little extra cash, and I use that extra cash to contribute towards my debt that I'm trying to get out of. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the person who just also got her payout of $500 as well for signing up for Instacart. So anyway, in terms of total additional income that I brought in for this month, I brought in $1,756.38. So that was pretty good. So let's see how things kind of shook out in terms of my budget. So in terms of my budget, I'm going to fill in some of the things that I know did not change this month based off of what I projected to spend and what I actually spent. So I'm going to fill in those values right now, and then I'm going to come back and point out some key areas to you. Okay, so $3,634 of my expenses that I had budgeted for actually turned out to be real expenses. And those are really just like my rent and my car lease debt that I'm trying to pay off, and utilities and things that I have on auto payment that are going to get paid, and nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to fluctuate from that. So let's go over some of the things that I have in the budget that I want to spike out to you. So the first thing is, I realized when I created the original budget that I shared in the video with you before, is that I missed an important line item, and that was related to my tithes. And I do pay my tithes through auto draft, so it didn't really affect me, but I was missing that line item before, and yeah, I added it back in, so I'm gonna add the money here as well. I started sinking funds in January, and I budgeted them in this spreadsheet, but then something happened. I think I messed up somehow in the Simple Bank app when I was setting up the sinking funds. So the money that I allocated for certain categories were a little off, but the same amount of money, I guess, overall that I budgeted is the same, but just the specific sinking funds are funded differently than I had intended to. One of the sinking funds that was off was car insurance. And so in the budget, I budgeted for $240, but instead the sinking fund got funded for $320. So I'm gonna add in that number. And then for business, that actually didn't get funded at all, although I had allocated $150 towards that. The next sinking fund that was funded a little weirdly was the vacation that I'm planning to take with my boyfriend this summer. I had allocated $100 in the budget for it, but instead it got funded for $114. Then the sinking fund for the Christmas vacation that I'm planning to take with my family in 2020, I had only intended to fund it at $85, but it actually got funded at $177 instead. Then I had 2 additional sinking funds for clothing and medical expenses, and I intended to fund those at $50 each, and those did get funded at $50 each as well. Then for my holidays and gift sinking fund, I had planned to fund it at $100, but that only got funded at $90 instead. Then I had planned to get my nails done. I had a sinking fund for my nails. I get them done every 4 to 6 weeks, and the sinking fund is for $50, but I actually did not get my nails done at all. So I didn't fund the sinking fund, and I didn't put any money towards my nails because I need a fill. So that's gonna happen in February for sure. And then I had a miscellaneous fund that I actually did not end up funding this month, and so that is 0 as well. So I think what happened is that I didn't have the categories actually set up correctly, and so it got funded in a weird way and simple, but I actually am not upset with it. I'm fine, I'm rolling with it, and it's okay. It didn't affect my life because these are sinking funds and they're gonna get funded when they get funded, and I was just kind of coming up with arbitrary numbers. So I'm a-okay with what happened, but that's why things didn't turn out the way that I had anticipated based off of the budget that I shared with you all at the beginning of January. Okay, so in terms of gas, I allocated $140 towards gas, but then I only spent $88.47 on gas. So I'm consistently spending way less money on gas than I had anticipated every single month. And so maybe I do need to reduce my gas fund a little bit, but I'm gonna keep it the same, I think, moving forward, but that's something that I'm noticing as a trend. Now we've come to the category that gives me the most trouble. So that's food and dining. And you all know that I budget $200 a month for food and dining, which is down from $300, which I used to budget months ago, but I decided that I need to cut back a little bit. And I told you all that I was going on a trip for work to Miami. So it was part work trip and then part personal. And I was going to be staying with my family in Miami. And I told you all that I didn't feel like it was going to have an impact on my food and dining budget. And I thought it wasn't because my job, they actually give me per diem. Although my job covers per diem at a rate of $66 per day, I kept using my Simple Bank debit card to purchase my food whenever I was at a grocery store or a restaurant while I was in Miami. And what I should have done was separated those purchases because I knew they were going to be reimbursed by work. I should have put them on a credit card instead of using the digital envelope that I set aside for food and dining while I normally live in Atlanta. And that caused the numbers to be a little muddled. So according to Simple Bank, because I kept using my Simple Bank card, I spent $264.02 on food and dining this month. However, $92.74 worth of purchases were actually done in Miami at restaurants and at the supermarket while I was on the work part of my trip. And so I think I should technically deduct that amount and find out what I truly spent. And so to me, I truly spent $171.73 on food this month. So that's what I'm going to enter into the budget sheet. So you all tell me if you disagree with what I'm doing, but my job is going to reimburse me at $66 per day. So I actually spent less than what they're going to reimburse me for. They're going to reimburse me for like $180, but I only spent half that amount. And so really, if we want to get real technical, I just spent less on food and dining. But yeah, I'm just gonna go by the actual expenses, and I feel like I actually spent $171.73 on food and dining this month. And so that's what I'm going with, okay? The last line item in my budget that we're gonna review is related to taxes. So as you know, I have to pay taxes on pretty much all the sources of income that I have, and I put money aside in a high yield savings account that I have with Sallie Mae Bank. And I get 2.2% interest on that account. And so I basically put away $17.56 into that account because that's how much, or that's where that money gets deposited. Like, I don't deposit that money into Simple or my Capital One account. That goes directly into the tax account that I set aside. So I actually only spent $6,858 for this month, and I brought in $7,114 for the month. So that means that I came in under budget, which is really good. And so I actually had $256 left over in expenses for the month. So that's really good. I'm really proud of myself. So that's my budget recap. Let me know what you think. And if you haven't checked out my January 2019 budget and you just so happen to be looking at the recap, go ahead and check out the January 2019 budget, and I'll have that linked up in the cards for you to check it out. If you're interested in more videos like this one, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm putting out these monthly budget and monthly recap videos, because I'm doing these so that I can keep myself accountable and also to show you all what my progress is towards paying off debt and whatnot. So I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, go ahead and like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.